Over 100 feared dead after migrant boat capsized off Mauritanian coast. More than 100 people are feared dead after a boat carrying irregular migrants capsized off the coast of Mauritania in Nouakchott. Gambian authorities confirmed this on Friday. The vessel, believed to have departed from Samekoto in the Gambia, overturned in the early hours of 27th of August near Lehazat, a fishing village about 117 kilometers from the Mauritanian capital. It was carrying an estimated 150 people, mostly Gambians and Senegalese nationals. According to the Gambian Ministry of Foreign Affairs, 16 survivors were rescued, including 5 Gambians. Mauritanian authorities recovered 70 bodies over 2 days, with point burial operations carried out due to the condition of their remains. With only 16 survivors confirmed, it is feared that more than 100 lives have been lost. The ministry said in a statement extending condolences to the victims' families. In a separate operation, Mauritanian authorities intercepted another migrant boat from Senegal with all passengers surviving. Among them were 5 Gambians, bringing the total number of Gambians currently in Mauritanian custody to 10. The Gambian embassy in Nouakchott is working with Mauritanian officials and the International Organization for Migration (IOM) to ensure their welfare and safe return. The ministry urged Gambians, particularly the youths, to desist from attempting such dangerous journeys. These perilous crossings continue to claim the lives of many, the statement read, adding that the government could intensify awareness campaigns and strengthen measures against irregular migration. Governor intervenes to defuse armed timber standoff in Jara East. A tense confrontation between armed forestry officials and villagers in Jalambere, Jara East District, was peacefully resolved Wednesday after the swift intervention of Lower River Region Governor Sidi Lamin Ba. The clash began when forestry officers, acting on orders from Director of Forestry Lieutenant Colonel Salif Kaur, stormed a local sawmill to confiscate timber suspected of being smuggled from customers. Sawmill workers and members of the Timber Dealers Association resisted, blocking the officials. The officers, armed with AK rifles, reportedly prepared to use force, raising fear of potential bloodshed. Governor Ba intervened on the scene, urging officials to stand down and facilitate talks between forestry officials, timber dealers, and villagers. An agreement was reached requiring timber owners to pay tax to the state, acknowledging that most of the wood originated from smugglers exploiting porous borders. The incident underscored the challenges of illegal logging in the region, where demand for timber and weak border control continue to fuel smuggling. While the tax agreement represents a step towards regulation, experts warn that illegal logging remains a serious environmental and economic threat. The executive coordinator of Banjul, Honorable Ibrahim Jao, has underscored the importance of inclusivity in elections, stressing that women and persons with disability must be fully recognized as equal participants in national decision-making. He urged the participants to embrace the workshop not only as a learning session, but also as a launchpad for deeper collaboration, strong institutions, and a more transparent electoral process in the Gambia. Honorable Jao spoke at a day-long workshop on strengthening inclusive and participatory elections in the Gambia. The forum was held in Banjul, organized by the Independent Electoral Commission in partners with the United Nations Development Programme. It brought together key stakeholders, including representatives from UNDP, IEC, Office of the Executive Coordinator for Banjul, persons with disabilities, women and youth leaders. The workshop focused on promoting the inclusion of women and persons with disabilities in the electoral process, recognizing it as a fundamental right and essential step toward building a fair and a democratic society. The controversy over former President Jammeh's seized assets has taken a fresh twist after Registrar Ablai Koli gave a testimony before the inquiry committee, insisting that it was not confused despite mounting contradictions in his statement. Over 2 days of questioning from Counsel Ajisenika, Mr. Cole explained the complexities of property title cancellations linked to Jammeh. He admitted that while a cancelled lease should end any claim of past ownership, gaps in documentation meant some assets would still be traced back to former President Jammeh. There is continuity in history if the formal cancellation is not effected, Mr. Collins said. When confronted with a 2013 internal memo, Mr. Collins conceded that he had merely reattached the document rather than drafting a fresh cancellation. He argued that his action carried no legal significance and that only the Director of Lands and Survey had authority to enforce the government's white paper on seized assets. Council Carr pressed him on whether his actions amount to cancellation, uh, accusing him of creating confusion.